Hey, Kim here, and I'm back with another video. So, long time no see. I miss you all. I hope everyone is doing well and everyone has just been navigating these uncertain times with positivity and with a perspective that allows them to not put themselves in the center of everything that's going on, but to realize that we're all going through different things and a lot of it is out of our control, but we should just focus on the things that are in our control. So yeah, I just wanted to hop on here and say hello. I hope everyone is doing well. I am doing pretty good. It's been a couple of weeks since I've ended my course with Noom. So I completed the first section. I thought it was going to be 4 months, which it was, but it was more so like 20 weeks. And I feel good. I feel like the tools that really resonated with me, I'm still utilizing them to this day, and I'm still continuing on my progress. I feel like my weight loss has slowed down a little bit, but I've just done so much since my first day of signing up with Noom back on February 26th, and also from when I really started to get serious about losing the weight. So I feel like I've come so far, and I have so many tools to just keep this going and to keep pursuing my weight loss and just my journey to health and happiness and really just understanding my place in the world. So yeah, I'm feeling good. From my initial weight at Noom, back in February on the 26th, to now, I've lost about. Actually, let me check my phone. Almost dropped it. Let me check my phone real quick. And I feel like I'm at a space where I'm comfortable with sharing my initial weight with you guys. Okay, so since February 26, 2020, and today is now July 28th, 2020, so that is about 5 months. I've lost 67.2 pounds. My first day getting the Noom app, I weighed 345 pounds even. And that's not my highest weight. My highest weight that I've documented, because there was a long period of time where I wasn't even weighing myself. My highest weight that I have proof of is 362.2 pounds. So I've I've come so far, and I'm just super motivated to keep going. And I just wanted to come on here and tell you guys that I'm doing well and I'm wishing everyone well. And I just wanted to share a couple of things that I felt like benefited me the absolute most on my journey, specifically what I've taken from Noom. So I would say first and foremost, I've realized that it's okay to get help with your journey. That doesn't make you weak. That doesn't make you less than. That doesn't make you, incompetent or incapable or, whatever. There's nothing wrong with getting some help and a little bit of assistance, whether it's through an app, whether it's through therapy, whether it's through a personal trainer, whether it's through, support from, your personal community of family or friends. I just I feel like there's nothing wrong with getting some help. So for me, I got help from the app Noom, and I accredit so much of my success from where I was to where I am now to Noom, because it helped me to realize that my biggest issue with weight loss and maintaining my weight wasn't the actual exercise. Like, I'm a relatively active person. I'm not like the most active person. I'm not an athlete by no means, but I don't have a problem with getting in the gym or working out, or I don't have a problem with walking. Like, I just came from walking with my sister. Like, I don't have a problem with doing the physical work. My main thing was my mindset. My mindset was all jacked up, and I got to a place where I just figured that it's my genetics. There's nothing to be done about it. I'm just going to be a bigger person. I'm already tall, like I'm 5'10". So, I come from a line of big and tall people. So I just have to accept that I'm going to be a big and tall person. And when I accepted that, I started making excuses or making concessions to justify me being content with my size. Like I justified it by saying, bigger people don't get abducted, just weird things that is so out there. And it's like, who would think like that? But I was coping with my weight and my size with thought distortions. And Noom helped me to realize that I had to be super clear about my motivations and they call it a big picture. So you basically, like, the first thing they ask you is to really niche down your purpose for losing weight. And they keep asking why, but why, but why. And the whole point of that is to really help you get to the root of why do you want to lose the weight? What is it that really motivates you? I mean, it the way I took it is it has to be more than just looks. And for me, it is. Like for me, losing the weight is giving me a better chance at, having a healthy pregnancy, having a longer lifespan with my partner and my children and my family unit and my friends and the ones that I love. It affords me the opportunity to do things without anxiety, like shopping or traveling or, sitting in stadium seating and actually being able to fit and not have to make an excuse about why I'm standing up and, why I'm not engaging with other people. It's having my weight and how I look physically and those negative thoughts that have manifested because of the way that I let myself get. It's about making that a non-factor. And I'm not looking to be, a size 2 or whatever, because I understand that, yes, genetics does play a bit into it. I do come from big and tall people. So I know that, I don't have the body build to be a size 2. And if, someone aspires to be a size 2, or if naturally they are a size 2, absolutely, there's nothing wrong with that. I just know that that's not how my physical bone structure is set up. But even if I was, a size, whatever, a size 14, which is considered to be plus size, it's not the size that matters, it's how I feel about it. And I felt a distortion and I felt a delusion about my size by telling myself that I am safer because I'm bigger and bigger people are less desired and less likely to be snatched up. Just really toxic thinking. So going through the process of Noom and having those questions at the beginning and getting very, very clear about why I want to lose the weight and what it's going to do for me helped me to unlock the perspective that I have the control here. The ball is truly in my court. I can no longer blame outside influences. I can no longer blame the thinking of society. I can no longer blame the attitude of, well, it is what it is. This is the hand I was dealt. I have the control to make these changes. And even more so, I have the motivation to keep going when I wanted to quit. And I feel like that is the whole purpose of crafting my personal big picture, because it's constantly a source of energy on the days where I don't want to hit my steps, or on the days where I don't want to work out, or on the days where, I want to, eat sweets all day. It's motivation for me to constantly tap into because it's specific to me. It's not the standard of beauty. It's not, someone else's fitness regimen. It's not someone else's, roadmap to weight loss and success. These are my own motivations. These are my own personal things that I'm struggling with as an effect of being so overweight. And I have I have the answer that I need, or not the answer, but I have the motivation that I need. So I attribute a lot of my success to Noom. I've learned so much, and I've learned to forgive myself for a lot. I've learned that motivation is a cycle. Motivation comes in cycles. Motivation is not something that, you know, you can just automatically turn off and turn on. It's truly a mood. And for me to tap into that motivation and to make it more of a constant thing, I constantly remind myself of how far I've come, how much I've learned, how much I've achieved, and that big picture is getting closer and closer every single day. So I definitely attribute a lot of my success from getting help. I also attribute a lot of my success to just taking pictures and documenting the process, which was a key factor of me documenting my journey in the first place. Yeah, I wanted to lose the weight because, we were going on a cruise and I wanted to feel more comfortable in clothing and things like that. But I also wanted to have that accountability. And I know I've fallen off as far as posting, but that's just because on my gaming channel has been growing and I recently got monetized. So I'm trying to keep up the momentum there. But I am still doing the work behind the scenes, and I am still going, and I am still motivated and striving towards my weight loss goal. So I just wanted to let you guys know that. But I attribute a lot of that to, just having proof, having the pictures, documenting everything, and having a system where it's more than just, oh, well, I didn't feel like I ate that much, or, I think I weigh this much. Like, no, I've been tracking my food. I've been documenting my weight. I've been, doing the things to have that empirical evidence to hold me accountable. And when things aren't working in my favor, I can pinpoint basically where I started to veer off track, and it helps me to get back on track. Um, Before, where I was just kind of doing whatever, I didn't really have that accountability system. But gaining that through Noom and just through other practices now post Noom, it's helped me to stay accountable. Another thing I attribute my success with is having that routine, being consistent. With Noom, they ask you to weigh in every single day, and I understand that might be triggering for some people, but for me, and what I believe that the point of it in the Noom program is that extra added accountability, and to also help you to get past scale anxiety. Because, like I mentioned earlier, there was such a long period of time where I didn't even know how much I weighed because I didn't want to get on the scale, and I didn't want to come to terms with the fact that I put myself in an unhealthy place. I put myself in a way of negative thinking. I contributed to the negative body images that I've had growing up. I was complacent with, how far my weight has increased and how my health was starting to decline. I have a family history of just weight related problems like diabetes, um, and other things that I won't get into, but I was contributing to those things, and I was making myself a higher candidate to, to develop one of those diseases. And, I wasn't doing my part to keep myself healthy. So, having that routine of weighing yourself every day, tracking your food, hitting step goals really helped me to rewire the way that I went about my day. Like, seriously, when I work out, I feel so much better because I feel like if I don't do anything else, at least I accomplished that. At least I took the time to work on myself, had that time to push and expand my limits, that time to, get a little bit closer to not only my weight loss goals, but just my health and my, self image goals. And when I say self image, I'm speaking more than just how I look physically, how I think about myself, how I see myself, how I respect myself. Having that routine gave me that sense of accomplishment, and it helped me to realize that if anything was to be done about the state of my weight and the state of my health, I had to do the work. I had to do it consistently, and I had to just keep going with that. So yeah, that I definitely attribute having that routine, having that consistency, tracking and logging, all of that to my success so far. Um, Also, I feel like I've had a really good support system. I don't have a large support system. There's not even a whole lot of people that knows that I've been actively trying to lose weight. And part of that is to protect my energy. I've learned just throughout my life, you can't tell everybody your goals because everyone isn't happy for you. Everyone doesn't share that same wavelength of energy. So I've been kind of selective about who I tell about, my goals and just like the things that I've accomplished and different insecurities that I've had in the past to protect my energy. There's been a time where I've, openly shared that, hey, I'm going to the gym, or hey, I want to do this. And people will always say they want to go, and oh, girl, I need to do that too. But it's like you look up and they're nowhere to be found, or it's like when you start doing something different, people start acting different towards you. Some people might feel as though, you're making them uncomfortable, like in a way you're shaming them for wanting to do better. So, and that's just beyond losing weight. That's just other things that I've experienced. So it's taught me to protect my energy and to be selective with who I allow to be a part of my support group, because honestly, energy is so, so contagious. It really, truly is. So I've been very selective with who I have that support. With Noom, it was a good program for me starting off because I didn't want to make it a big deal and let everybody know. Because when you're a bigger person and you tell people that, hey, I want to lose weight, it's like every single conversation becomes about your weight loss. And I didn't want to become a conversation piece. So Noom was really good about having that support. I had my goal specialist, which was basically an individual assigned to me that helped me to stay accountable, asked me about my goals, asked me about my progress, if I needed any help, any additional support, basically helped me to be accountable. And what I've grown to like, because I didn't like this at first, because at first I felt like my goal specialist wasn't really supportive. I felt like, we wasn't checking in super often. Um, but I feel like part of that is because I wasn't checking in with her a lot. Um, because a lot of this stuff I already knew that I had to do. I pretty much knew the steps, but it didn't click for me to actually do them because I didn't have a concise sense of motivation and a reason to stick with the steps. So that's why I mentioned that big picture in the beginning, because that helped me a lot. So that kind of caused me not to really check in with her as much. But I say that to say, from my experience, I think the goal specialist job is to support you and not to instruct you, because ultimately Noom is a program about sustainable weight loss. It's not a diet. Like, I've never been told, hey, don't eat this, or hey, you have to do that. No, it's like Noom gives you the space to get the tools, to understand the information, to get that support when you need it, but ultimately to determine what's going to work for you long term. Because truly, if you don't get that understanding for yourself and you're just heavily relying on somebody else to tell you what to do and when to do it, when you're flying solo, you're just going to be dead in the water. Like, That's the best way I can explain it. So I've come to appreciate that my goal specialist wasn't like, hovering over me. She wasn't, telling me what to do. She was allowing me that space to figure out what works for me, and she also gave me that support when I needed it. So I definitely appreciated that. And I really love the group aspect. So the group aspect came after the initial trial where you decide that, hey, I want to stick to this program. And if you do, you get access to the group. And what Noom does, they ask you a bunch of questions in the beginning. So if you do decide to stick with it past the trial, the group is full of people that have similar struggles to you. They respond to similar ways of support and community and discipline and all of that. So the group was so amazing. It was just awesome to be able to be surrounded with people who are going through similar things. And obviously, everyone wasn't me at 29 and 345 pounds with my personal struggles and my personal thoughts on weight and health and things like that. Obviously, we're all different people, but it was nice to realize that I wasn't alone, and these people were curated in this group based on similar struggles. So there was a level of relatability there, and it was, for me personally, it was a level of comfort, and it allowed me to be more transparent with my struggles. It allowed me to be more celebratory about my wins, whether it's my wins or other people's wins, and be supportive of them. And from my experience, it was just a really good system to have those people together in a group. And I honestly truly appreciated that so much, because I felt like having that community, that support, that network of people who were going through what I was going through, and we were all having our individual successes, but we could still come together and support each other through our wins, whether they're on or off the scale, was just, it was amazing. I've never really had that before. I've always been overweight for most of my life, and my close friends, through my formative years, they were also overweight. A lot of them were. So we had that in common, but we didn't have the wherewithal to actually change that. We've had similar experience when it comes to, socially things, whether we were considered to be desirable by, other people our age, or, the struggles that we go through as far as, having access to clothes, or, when we hang out, eating became an activity. We had those things in common growing up. But, me being an adult and realizing that I have to own my actions, and I'm the only one that can change those actions for me, it was really nice having a community of people who were going through what I was going through, who have been dealt similar hands, but most importantly had the motivation, or at least had the desire to make that change. So I really, really strongly encourage anyone to have that support system. Last but not least, I would say possibly the most important part. Oh, and before I get into the most important part, um, going back to the systems, it doesn't have to be through an app. It doesn't have to be um, through a bunch of strangers that I will never meet in real life. But, even with, family and friends, you can definitely form your own support group. I do have family and friends that I've worked out with and who support me, and we'll do things together, or we'll check in on each other. The point is to just have that support of like-minded people. You have to be really selective about who you let support you, because if you think someone is cheering you on, but they're really giving you the side eye, or they're really feeling like you're bringing down the mood because, oh, you're changing your eating habits, or, when you hang out, you want to exercise instead of just, chilling and watching TV. It's like, I'm not saying cut those friends off, but put them in the compartment that doesn't interfere with your health journey, because that energy can really bring you down. It has brought me down so many times where, I plan to work out, but, I end up hanging out with a friend, and I don't work out for today, or I overindulge in some food that I didn't necessarily want to eat, but it was there. Eating socially was a big thing for me as well. So yeah, just be really selective with your support group. But yeah, last but not least, um, I don't know if anyone is, religious or spiritual, or, in tune with the universe, or, it's just like all about getting that self actualization. Whatever you put it in a box as, I feel like it's so important to have that time where you're able to quiet your thoughts and focus your energy and just realize just how much you have. Honestly, with whatever your situation with your weight is, or with your health is, it's so easy to focus on the negative. It's so easy to blast the things that are, not ideal for you. And it makes it harder and harder to focus on the things that are truly blessings, the things that are fortunate, the things that are positive. And I really encourage everyone, no matter what your method is, whether it's through prayer, meditation, quiet time, self reflection, journaling, whatever your method, to have that space to show your gratitude, to conjure up positivity, and to put yourself in a space where you are speaking light and life into yourself. When we bombard ourselves with negativity and negative thoughts, um, it's it's really hard to come out of that thinking. It truly, really is so hard to come out of that thinking. But when you start putting it into practice to speak positivity and to speak life and light, and just to have a time to check in with yourself. For me personally, it's prayer. I pray every single day before I get into my day. Like, I have like that routine. It's like I pray, I go to the bathroom, and then I weigh myself in that order. And I feel like for me personally, like I said, do whatever is a part of your lifestyle, whatever fits, whatever you subscribe to. But I feel like having that time first thing before I engage with social media, or before I engage with other people's energy, or before I eat, or before anything takes me out of, you know, conjuring or facilitating a positive space for the rest of my day, I pray, and I just I reflect on just how blessed I am, how much I've accomplished with my weight loss, how much that I've accomplished with other things too, like my YouTube channel, or just with forgiving myself, and being able to um being able to understand certain events in my life, and turning those lows into an energy source to keep me motivated. I'll share a little bit about what I am grateful for every day. As you guys know, I've shared a very traumatic experience where I almost drowned. And I believe a lot of that was due to my weight. Mind you, this was 2 years ago. So, 300-pound plus lady on a tube who can't swim in the middle of a very, very real, body of water. And it I won't say it broke me, but it put me in a space where I just felt like I would never be human. And I know that might sound a little extreme, or like, whoa girl, like, whoa, what are you talking about? But seriously, if it put me in a space where I felt like everybody else was having a good time floating down the river, and look at me about to drown, flipping off my tube, the biggest person there, you know, like, it made me feel like crap. And it took me some time and some prayer and some perspective to, utilize the fact that I did not drown and the fact that I was blessed and favored enough to make it out of that situation alive, to use that as a point that I can draw back on, and to, for me to not be in a space where I'm that big again, where tubing down a river can be an issue of life and death. Now, granted, you know, obviously anybody could have flipped off the tube. Anybody. But I didn't make the situation better on myself by being over 300 pounds on this tube, where other people who were on average like maybe 120 to maybe like 170 pounds were on. You know, obviously I was more than twice the weight of a lot of the people that was there, and they didn't have any problems. So it makes sense to me that part of the reason was because of my weight. So whereas before it put me in a low spot, in a spot of self-loathing and not really liking myself too much because of what I did to myself with my weight gain, to a place of I can be like, okay, that happened. That is a pivotal moment on my timeline of existence that I can learn from, that I can reflect on. I can revisit those feelings and revisit that moment and use that as a motivation to not go back to that place. And I truly believe that prayer and gaining perspective has helped me personally to turn a lot of those low points in my life into extra motivation to keep going, to keep pressing forward, to realize just how blessed I am every day. I'm able to wake up and continue my journey, because my journey isn't done. I feel like my journey will never be done. But it helps me to realize that I have something to live for. I have something to work towards. I I matter, you know, because I was given a second chance, whereas a lot of people in that situation probably wouldn't have been. And it really is just one of the things that I constantly refer back to in prayer, in that time where I'm alone and realizing how far I've come and just how much I've achieved, and, you know, how I want to be in my life. It's just, it's constantly giving me that source to tap into. So, again, like I said, whatever your method of quieting your thoughts, you know, reflecting on what you want, um, you know, being grateful for the things that you have, and also feeling that power and feeling that energy of knowing that there are things in my control, and if I want this for my life, I have to do the work and I have to keep going, and every single day counts. So yeah, I want to hop off here. I know this is over 30 minutes, and you know, if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Comment a heart in the comments if you made it this far. You know what? No. Comment comment the emoji where it's like the little strong arm. Comment that. Um, if you made it this far. But yeah, I'm gonna hop off here. I just hope me getting on here has helped somebody out there. Sorry about my phone. But I truly hope that it's helped somebody out there. I just felt really moved and motivated to check in with you guys, because it's definitely been a while, and there's just so much going on in this world, and there's so many things out of our control. But I know for me personally, stuff like my weight and my weight loss journey is totally and completely in my control, and I am just going to work every single day to get the life that I want, and I feel like I'm getting there. I feel like I've gained so much, and honestly, I'll leave you with this: it's more than just the number on the scale. It truly is. I mean, yes, that's a metric to see how far you come. Like I said, like from my start of Noom, I've lost 67.2 pounds, and that was since the end of February. But from my highest weight, I've lost, let me see, where am I at now? Give me a second. Yeah. So from my highest weight, as of today, I've lost 84 pounds. And I documented my highest weight in September of last year. I want to say September 16th of last year. So in about 10 months, I've lost 84 pounds. And I definitely have more to go, but I'm just super excited to keep doing the work and to keep expanding my limits and to keep being grateful for what I've achieved while at the same time striving for more and just putting everything in perspective. So, anyway, I'm going to leave you all here. I hope everyone is just doing well. Just wanted to give you all some positivity and some light into your lives and to just let you all know that I'm doing fine, and I hope that everyone is doing well. I hope that everyone is using this time to figure out whatever it is that they want to work towards and want to achieve in their life, because time is truly precious and it is a non-renewable source. Once time has passed, it is past and it's not coming back. So just do everything in your power to live your life to the fullest and do the most that you can, while you still can. So yeah, I'm gonna hop off here. I will talk to you guys in the next video.